So this one's really nice. It's just like a simple chord progression and melody. And yeah, it's not overly complex. I think that's a really good note to take. You know, a lot of these beats, they don't have to be overly complex in order for them to sound good. Just got to get a few things right, and then you can still keep it simple and it still sounds great. So I start off with bell 12. We're in Xenology. And then on top of the bell 12 preset, I've got Supermassive. This is a Hydra mode. I think it's like a modulated like delay, and it might be like blended with a reverb. But then we've also got this delay. It's called Voice Psychedelica. I just pulled back the dry wet. So yeah, just gives it like a bit of an eerie kind of tone, those reverbs and delays. Then I just layered it. So I got this, it's called Soft Pad 4 in Xenology. Yeah, it's just the same notes. Pretty quiet, but it just adds a little bit of depth in the background. I did some panning automation at the start here. Just to start off the beat, I kind of like pulled back. So I started the pan like at like 34 to the left, and then came back to 26. But so that was just for the intro. But then for the rest of the beat, this one's just panned like 26 to the left. The main bell element is like 10 to the left. So it's kind of like layered like this. So there's heaps of space over on the right hand side just for like a new element to come in. And that's when I bring in a third element in the B section. As you can see, that one's panned like pretty far right. And that's another thing to take note, like the way that I sort of arrange and mix with all my melodic instruments. Like the main element is generally like pretty central, but I won't have it directly in the center. I'll push it like either, 10 left or 10 right or something like that. And that's my main element that I want to hear the most of melodically. But I'm still panning it just off center so that we can just like have nothing in the way of the drums or the 808, which are just going to stay pretty much central, unless they're like our hi-hats or something else percussive might sort of just alter a little bit. But yeah, most of the drums just straight down the middle. We don't want anything to get in the way of them. So that bell is actually a Serum preset that I designed. So I just got, in basic shapes, I just made a sine wave, pitched it up an octave. I turned the unison up to 3. I kind of like detuned it just slightly and pulled the blend back a little bit. So it was just like some light layering. And then for the envelope, I just created kind of this like pluck. So it's basically just like a detuned sine pluck sound. Then I just added, what's this one? Asymmetrical. Yeah, just wanted to give it to like some harshness, as you can hear. Then I've just put the same preset on, this Voice Psychedelica. It's just a nice kind of like eerie delay sound that kind of worked with this whole vibe. And then we've got the same Supermassive preset, Hydra, and 42%. Sound design's different for each of the elements, but just like putting on the same processing or similar processing can help a lot to make them feel like they belong together. Sounds just more natural. A lot of the time I'm just like slightly tweaking those delays and reverbs just depending on like how close or further back I want an element. All right, then onto the drums. I've just got just a simple clap pattern, and then I've laid it with a couple of percussive snares. So I'll just mute those together. You'll notice on this percussive snare, so it had a weird kind of like texture to it. I just use this frequency echo. I've used this in previous videos. It basically just adds like a short delay, which sort of just alters the tone. So I just pulled the mix back and it just kind of like gives it kind of like this watery tone. That's generally what I'm looking for when I'm making kind of shed type beats or whatever. I've also used this in my other videos as well. It's an Arturia phaser, really good on percussive elements if you're trying to make like shed beats. Gives it a nice amount of movement. So I've done the same processing once again to the hi-hats, just to kind of make them feel like they belong together. Sounds a little bit more natural, making everything sound cohesive, I guess. So this looks pretty complex. So I've used like 4 octaves, but essentially you know, it's just a normal hi-hat pattern. And I've just intentionally left some blank spaces just in case I wanted to fill it with something percussive, even leave it just for some extra bounce. Just playing around with the velocities as well, that'll create like a nice like swing and bounce. Really fun to make these hi-hats. If you're going to do these kind of hi-hats, what I've found that works is creating simple drums, because if you have a really complex kind of like rhythm, you don't want to like overdo it. It's nice to keep things really simple, and that's what you'll notice. That's my drums there. It's not a lot of elements. Onto the 808, we've got 3 808s in here. Went kind of crazy on it, but there's still simplicity in all of these. So these are our 3 808s. 1, 2, and then 3, 1, 2, and then 3. It's really fun making these as well. Simplicity is key once again. This is not an overly complex 808 pattern. And I mean, you can even like strip it back further than this and make it more simple if you'd like. Even if you want to just like go ahead and make like the full 808 pattern and then just chop it up into sections. So these are the 808s I used. They're all from Starboy Rob's stash kit. So we've got 6K 808, which is like a spins Zaytoven kind of sound. Then this one's called All Black. Transpose it an octave, you can hear like the envelope. Just runs down an octave. And then this is one Okura. One Okura? I think that's how you say it. Just a really well designed sub. And that one also has the that pitch enveloping on it. Alright, so yeah, once again, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it a lot. Make sure to leave a comment, a like, a subscribe, whatever you want to do. Yeah, I appreciate you guys supporting me. If you want this Ableton project file, it's in my Patreon, and from now on I've just been uploading like all of my Ableton files that are in each of my videos, so you can have full access to them. I've been posting these beats just up on BeatStars, so that's another thing that's available if you guys are after those. Thanks for watching once again. I appreciate it, and I'll see you tomorrow.